Oh man, this is an emergency video because FANTOM is down 6.5%, whilst Bitcoin is down 1.6%, leading the market to the downside. Could FANTOM now be playing out the bearish situation, the bearish scenario, the patterns, which I've been sharing with you for the last few weeks? A lot of you guys have been saying, no, don't say this, pump the coin, but I had to share with you what I'm seeing in the chart. That pattern is starting to formulate out. I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to share all the critical levels and what we need to do to nullify this pattern. So make sure you stay tuned till the very end. Hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, these videos are brought to you by myself. Yes, our very own course member live streams. Check the link in the description to head to ijaz.uk/member to join our 3 times weekly members only live streams where you can ask me questions on your portfolio, critique your portfolio, look at certain coins, do technical analysis, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So consider joining the other course members who have already joined up and get access to our course member lives. But here on FANTOM, look at the hourly chart to the downside, bleeding through the bottom of our wedge pattern, our channel which we were in. And this is not looking good now. We're 6.5% down on the day. Bitcoin is not giving us the tailwind which we needed. We're down 1.7% on Bitcoin. If you haven't watched my video on Bitcoin, go watch that from a few hours ago, earlier in the day, because Bitcoin is at a critical juncture right now, and it's going to make up its mind of where it's going. And this is just a flavor of what could happen to altcoins if Bitcoin wants to play out its bearish scenario. So here on the hourly chart, you can see we're starting to come down now to test our 200-hour moving average here on the hourly chart here for FANTOM. Now you can see we managed to pick up some support previously here over the last few days. Can we get the same now? Can we bounce to the upside? We've fallen out of our pattern. We've done that before and managed to quickly get back into our pattern, but that took a really big move here on FANTOM, and now we're starting to come down. Now the only saving grace here on the hourly chart that I can see, the RSI. You can see the RSI is really coming down to oversold territory, which should mean that some of the bulls should start to come in and pick this up. But if we don't, we could be losing our 200 moving average here and heading to 147. I'm going to explain exactly why 147 is such an important level shortly. Now we're going to come on to the 4-hourly charts shortly, but I do want to show you what's going on in the wider market, because in the wider market we can see that we've got a bit of up and down, right? We've got the Dow pretty much flat, we've got the S&P flat, and you've got the NASDAQ up 1.4%, mainly led by the fact that Elon Musk bought a 9.2% stake in Twitter. What a great way to make sure you don't get cancelled, right? Just buy the platform. Like, if only we could all do that. Anyway, so that's what we're seeing in the market. We can see Fear and Greed Index is sitting at 52. I suspect this is going to come down tomorrow. This reading would have come in before this fall slightly on Bitcoin. So I suspect this is going to fall below 50 tomorrow. We'll take a look at that tomorrow. But Bitcoin is now sitting at below 46,000, sitting at 45,700, back in this small wedge. If you want to understand what these patterns mean, you have to go watch my Bitcoin video from earlier today. That's going to explain exactly what we're seeing on the Bitcoin chart. But here on FANTOM, let's head back on over to the 4-hourly chart. And you can see here on the 4-hourly chart, we're getting a bad candlestick. And what that bad candlestick is doing is it's testing this EMA ribbon. But all is not lost. If we can pick up support on the hourly chart where I just showed you, if we can pick up support from the level, we can see RSI was really starting to top out to the downside on the hourly chart. If we can start to see some buy pressure here, this would be a nice test of the 4-hourly chart. You can see how we've used our EMA ribbon here so far. We've used all of it to kind of penetrate down and then move to the upside. And you can see that's how we've been behaving here. This is perfectly normal. We bounced, we then go again, and we want to create a higher high. The problem here is this bit. And that's the issue right now. You can see on our initial move, we ran as high here on FANTOM as 168-ish on this peak here. But then after testing the EMA ribbon here, our next high was below 165. Okay, so this is showing a slowing of momentum, but we now need the volume to come in and push us to the upside. We need, these kind of candles of volume coming in now on FANTOM. Now, what we need to keep an eye on here is if we lose this EMA ribbon, we could be heading to the downside. We could be heading to 147 and then 134, but all's not lost yet until we close our EMA ribbon below then. Until we close it at about 149, 148 here on the 4-hourly chart, we're pretty good. Okay, now let's head on over to the daily chart, because on the daily chart what we see is we've actually got some room. We've not fully penetrated deep into our EMA ribbon. We've kind of gone into it now with this red candlestick here on the daily, but we've got some room. We can even head down to 147, like I said, that key level which is showing up on all the different time frames, and get a good solid bounce. And in fact, from a technical perspective, you've got the bottom of the EMA ribbon coming at 144, 143. So you do have some breathing room here on Phantom, thanks to the fact that we had the good run up a couple of days ago, taking us up to 160s. Okay, so that's what we're seeing on the daily. Now, the other worrying sign which I wanted to share with you is what we're seeing on the weekly. Now, remember, we will make it, let's go to a cleaner chart here to show you what I'm seeing on the week. Now, remember, what we were seeing here is we had a big move down, right? Everything had this big move down. Bitcoin did, all coins did, that's fine. Then we had our retracement. But remember what I said, I was worried that we may get this rejection to the downside. The bearish scenario is this, right? This is just a pullback, and then you have a bigger move to the downside, rejected by the EMA ribbon. Now, unfortunately, this weekly candle has just opened up now. It's got another 6.5 days to go, but it's opened up in the red. Now, we've got to bring in the buy pressure in the rest of the week. The buy pressure has got to come, and we've got to close this candle green and show that we can still trend to the upside. Even if it's a doji candle or a slight red candle or a slight green candle, that's good. But we can't let sell pressure come in. We definitely can't have an engulfing candle where it's bigger than this candle. That would be a horrible sign to the downside here on the weekly chart for Phantom. We don't want to see. Now, just to wrap things up, what are we seeing here on the hourly? Well, remember when I said many videos ago, we were forming a bear flag. Okay. Now, let's look at it on the hourly, be a bit clear. Now, this is the bear flag. Now, remember when we were looking at this one, we were saying this is a continuation pattern. You have a move to the downside, you consolidate in an upward pattern, okay? A lot of bulls get trapped, and then you continue your move to the downside. Same thing here. Move to the downside, channel, then you continue your move to the downside. That is what I was worrying about many days ago, and that's what I mentioned in the video. Now, the saving grace for us is that the longer we stay in this channel, the better it is. And we've been in this channel for a long time. The rate of change here, if you look at the gradient of this slope, it's more progressive than this. This was too fast, and you could tell people were going to get liquidated on the way down. This is a bit more steady, which is what gives you hope. The worrying thing is we've broken down one side to the downside and managed to rally ourselves back in, but now we're breaking down weakness and showing weakness again to the downside. We just need to be cognizant of, are we going to see this move to the downside? Because if we do, then indeed this is just a bear flag, and we could see lower price points at 147, 134. So that asks the question, what am I doing in this market? Am I buying? Am I selling? What am I doing? Well, I'm certainly not buying at 152 here on Phantom. If you guys have been watching my videos, I was fortunate enough to be buying in here on the pullbacks at 103, at 104, at 105. I was nibbling, and I was making videos letting you guys know that is what I was doing. So I'm certainly not chasing on the upward leg. On the downward leg, however, if we start seeing this pattern, I will surely then start nibbling some more in this pattern. And this is what we mean by buying the pullbacks. If you have conviction and the market wants to do this, then there's no issue you going in and picking some up at 115, 110, 120, if and when it pulls back there. If it doesn't, great. If it just wants a little calling off to 147 or 134 and then starts heading back up, fantastic. That's really good. That will help reset the RSIs, and then we can start heading back up to the upside on Bitcoin. Now, on Phantom. Now, naturally, we're going to need the headwind and tailwind from Bitcoin. We're going to need Bitcoin to help us out in this situation. But right now, Bitcoin's having a critical moment in half. It's at a critical point. It's at this juncture where it has to make up which way are we going. And this is going to define where Bitcoin and therefore all coins are going to move for the next weeks. And I'd even say months. So make sure you go watch the video, which I'm going to link up on the end card here, which explains to you exactly what is the juncture that we're facing on Bitcoin and which way are we heading, in my opinion. Make sure you go watch that. As always, if you appreciate my blend between technicals and fundamentals on a daily basis, make sure you smash up the likes. Make sure you subscribe. If you like my perspectives and you want some more, consider joining our member call streams. You can check out the link in the description, which is going to take you to ijaz.uk/member. And from there, you'll be able to get yourself set up to join our live streams. You'll be able to ask me questions on your portfolio, your favorite coins. We can do technical analysis together. We can do fundamental analysis together. We can look at tokenomics. You can ask me questions on psychology and how I chart and TA patterns and a whole bunch more. So consider setting yourself up on our monthly live streams. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in